Welcome everyone, we have Dr. Firdaus Cassim today joining us. She's going to take us through her workout. She's also into powerlifting and obviously Kevin helped her along those lines. Firdaus, maybe you can tell us about your powerlifting and how you actually came to meet Kevin.
Hi Sean, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me. This is a pleasure to be here.
Yes.
I got into powerlifting when I was in my community service in Nelspruit in 2021. I was very amateur at the time, just fooling around a little bit, and then I moved back to Pretoria in 2022. Wanted to continue pursuing the powerlifting career, and then just literally searched Kevin's name on the internet. Well, not even Kevin's name. I searched for a gym on the internet, and fortunately Kevin's popped up. Gave him a call, he was happy, said come through in the afternoon, let's have a chat, let's meet up. Came here, was surprised to see the gym, very basic, not your usual commercial looking gyms, obviously a little bit of apprehension. But we chatted. I realized at that point that I was actually speaking to quite a great man in the bodybuilding, powerlifting community. At the time when I searched his name, I had no clue that that was who I was speaking to. Spoke to him about what I wanted to do in terms of powerlifting, and then we got into it and we started a training program in January 2022.
Okay, so being a doctor though for the past 5 years you've been qualified. Do you still feel yet that you gained some knowledge from Kevin?
100%. Kevin has shocked me in so many ways. He's not been a regular trainer. He gave me so much more than just a gym routine. He gave me a holistic view on bodybuilding, nutrition, health. I've got 2 very bad knees, and he taught me how to recover from that, gain strength in them, trust him that, squatting heavier will be fine on those knees. Coming from a medical perspective, Kevin had so much knowledge and wisdom. He'd read up on, muscle groups and, antagonistic and agonistic muscles. So he was really just all around incredible. Some knowledge that I don't think you can get anywhere off the internet.
And maybe you want to tell us some of your achievements that you had,
Sure.
which Kevin helped you.
So when I started training here in January, we were prepping for the Gauteng powerlifting qualifier that was happening in February 2022. So we had about 6 weeks to prep for that, which we did. Unfortunately, Kevin couldn't come with me to that competition as he had other commitments. But we managed to qualify for Nationals of 2022 with the South African Powerlifting Federation, which I then affiliated with. We had to go through anti-doping courses so to make sure that it is a tested competition and a tested federation to make sure everything was above board. And then we qualified for Nationals happening, I think it was in March 2022 in Falkville. Obviously, I was so scared. I have such performance anxiety when it comes to powerlifting, and I was terrified that, Kevin, I need you there. You weren't at the qualifier. I was so stressed out. I think I failed 2 squats, 2 benches, 1 deadlift. I failed them outright, but definitely managed to still qualify. And Kevin said 100%, no matter what happens, he's cancelling his appointments, he's cancelling his clients, he will be there for me in Falkville. Getting to Falkville for him was a mission. Him and his wife Kathy both came with, they drove through on the morning. There were taxi protests on the road there on N12, and he literally passed through them, spoke to one of the taxi drivers even in the midst of this, trying to get to me. He missed, I think, 2 of my squats, but then he made it for my 3rd. And once he was there, it was just this amazing, incredible feeling of peace having him there, the confidence that he had in me. I think that's one thing that I do enjoy about Kevin so much, was the confidence that he had in me more than I had in myself. There were days even with training where I tell Kevin, no man, I can't squat this, and he'd tell me, go walk outside for a bit and I'll load the bar for you. Don't count what's on it, come inside and just lift. And that's how he got me to some personal best lifts in the gym with him.
I think you mentioned in your deadlift at some stage you felt that you reached your limit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe tell us about that.
Sure. So I think, after we went to Nationals, I managed to get overall best lifter for the 47 kilogram female group, open group. And then working onwards from there, our next goal was then to compete for South African provincial colours. So that coming back from that competition was our next goal. So started with training again, got back onto it, took a bit of a break to rest, and then we got back into training. Then we hit a bit of a plateau when it came to deadlifts. So I think I was maxing out at about 110, but just could not. No matter how much I rested, no matter how much of technique, I just could not get past the 110 kilos. And Kevin had the insight to see that I was struggling with triceps. I was struggling to just lock out my deadlift. So he said, let's work on tricep dips. So we started with weighted tricep dips, got that going, and I think within maybe 2 or 3 weeks, I was hitting 115 kilos easily. So that's one of the things that you don't find easily in a trainer that has the insight to know and to see where you're struggling. A lot of trainers will give you a set routine. You hit these things every day. This is legs, arms, chest, whatever the split is, you know, but they don't recognize where you're lacking as a person. And Kevin did that not just in movements. With the deadlift, okay, it was, you know, locking out and I needed tricep strength on that. But just overall in terms of well-being. I used to do night shifts while I was working this side. He'd know if I came in and I was tired, and he's like, listen, what's happening? I was like, no, I didn't get much sleep on the shift. He's like, no, relax, rest, take it, we'll do it another day. Whether it was diet, with a busy schedule in the hospital, you don't always get time to have a good diet. He'd notice this, he'd notice that my strength is, you know, not peaking at the moment. He'd chat to me about that and we'd work forward from that. Stresses of finding a post. I was trying to get into a post to specialize at the time, and he could see that I was stressed about it. I'd gone for interviews, wasn't getting successful options from the interviews, and then he knew that, you know what, just take it easy, don't focus on the weights, take a time off. Another thing also that he helped me with a lot was my shoulder. I struggled a lot with my left shoulder, especially on bench. It was definitely weaker than my right. So he noticed that was lacking, so we started a bit with side lateral raises. Definitely, I saw the improvement immediately to the point that my left shoulder was now getting stronger than the right. He really had so much insight into muscle groups, where you're lacking, movements, technique, you know, things like that. Small changes that you wouldn't necessarily think of doing yourself in a gym routine. Things like on a squat, just me taking too many steps backwards, using up too much energy in that period, you know.
Okay, yeah.
He would guide me into a lot of technique, you know, formats and positions, things to get lifts better.
Dr. Firdaus, you were also to some extent skeptical when you heard you're going to train twice a week.
That was definitely something very new, very foreign to me. Twice a week. I've been with other trainers previously, and there was always like at least a 5-day training program, you know. You do legs, chest, back, biceps, everything was done. Coming to Kevin's, he literally told me, I came in on a Monday, and he's like, yeah, no, I'll see you Thursday. And I was like, Thursday, that's like 3 days away. Do you want me to train on my own? Do you want me to do some cardio? Would you like me to do some body weight things? And he's like, no, I want you to rest and recover. And it's something so phenomenal that I think many trainers don't make use of. But the rest period that you need for your muscles, especially if you're lifting heavy, is something that Kevin really, you know, revolutionized, I would say. It's something I'm not seeing, like I said, with any other trainers. And I saw immediate improvement in my personal bests. I mean, I was picking up 2.5 to 5 kilos. It's about 10% body weight every training session more, you know, on numbers, whether it was squats, whether it was deadlifts or benches. So it really was something that he revolutionized.
Dr. Firdaus, you also mentioned that Kevin introduced you to some of the right federations. Maybe you can elaborate on that for us.
So like I said, in Nelspruit when I started, it was very amateur. I didn't know much about powerlifting at the time. Ended up associating with a federation that wasn't a tested federation, but we competed anyway, and it still got me into powerlifting. But when I came here to Pretoria and started chatting with Kevin, he had such a vast background of knowledge of all the years of his going through bodybuilding, weightlifting, and even powerlifting himself. So he got me into contact with the South African Powerlifting Federation. He taught me how to affiliate with them and how the process works, that they would then be able to take me into International Powerlifting Federation standards and compete on an international platform. And that's obviously our ultimate goal now. obviously short-term goals is to get colors, and then going on is to compete internationally. But Kevin had he had a wealth of knowledge and contacts and contribution to helping me, hone my powerlifting passion. He got me into contact even when I moved to Northwest in September. He got me into contact with the Northwest SAPF guys that were, tested, they were affiliated, they were the right people. Even when we went to Fochville in 2022 for the national competition, he knew all of the names in the game. He was a well-known favorite. Everybody was so surprised to see him back in, because he actually hadn't been into powerlifting for the last couple of years. And I think that's also what sparked his passion in me when I came here, was that I think he was just so happy. He was, there's someone that wants to do powerlifting, and it ignited that spark in him again that he once had. And he was so committed to, getting me there, irrespective of numbers. And I think that's the thing with Kevin. It was never about numbers. It was never about maxing out or, ego lifting. With him, it was just purely getting you in that passionate environment and pursuing that. He was happy that I was happy in powerlifting, and definitely something that I will never forget.
Do you want to enlighten us into what you have planned for your workout for today?
Sure, not a problem. Today we're planning on doing a bit of leg work, so just squats. I think one thing that stayed with me from Kevin is that compound lifts was his way to go. We never did much on leg press, leg extensions. It was never isolated lifts. He always believed that you have to engage all your muscles all the time to build that muscle memory, to build that technique. So literally for leg day, it was just a squat session. We'd start with a light warm-up, and then we'd go up trying to max out. He'd test where I was feeling, a little bit heavier, a little bit lower. He'd help me out if I was, failing a lift, not getting depth. He would, give me some tips on how to get better depth on a lift, how to get my setup right. There was so much, literally, just a vast knowledge that he had within him about all different lifts. So squats, we just do a bit of a warm-up, start with like a easy weight, 40 kilos, and then just build it up, and then you sort of max out, and then you would deload a bit and do some volume work.
Okay, great.
We'll start moving the chins. Thank you so much.
Quite a deep squat there. Very good. Very good.
I think that's the one thing we struggled with. Your IPF and your SAPF standards for depth on a squat is so strict. I think even at the nationals, I think Kevin was actually there for, he missed my first squat, he was there for my second squat. And I squatted, I think it was 60 kilos, it was an easy weight. And they gave me 2 red lights for no depth. And Kevin was like, how much deeper do you want it to go? Do you want it to sit on the floor? Depth is definitely an important thing for the squats.
Quite interesting to notice how far back the ball goes
Yeah,
behind
so
your neck.
Kevin, we played around with this for a while. There was high squats and low squats on the back. So we honed our technique through the training sessions. Most of it was just trying to figure out what was most comfortable for me. Obviously you can't roll the bar once you're in the squat position. So we found with me, I struggled to sort of rest the bar on my traps. So then he said just like lower it down, but that helped a lot.
Okay, great.
Whew. You can change those out for 10.
Pens, which is green.
10 again. So 20, 40, 60. I think that's one thing. Kevin and his machines, his weights, only he knew them. Kevin had a special way, and the weights were definitely on his team, because on a lot of the calibrated machines, he'd set it at a certain weight and there'd always be 2 more plates extra. No matter what you were trying to do, whether it was lateral raises or lateral pull downs, always. 2 plates, always stuck together. Kevin's like, just go, it's fine.
Okay, did it for the squats.
Yeah, that's it for the squat. So Kevin was never about, like I said, not about numbers. You'd never be doing 10 or 12 reps out with Kevin. 5, feel the weight, see how it's doing. Take it from there, move up.
Alright, anything else you got planned, or is that?
So it's a bit of a compound day as well. So we can do a bit of deadlift and a bit of bench.
So deadlift you'll be doing over
On the
there.
platform, yeah.
Do you need to load or unload?
What are we sitting? What is this? I think these are very massive plates. I have no idea what these are. Kathy?
Okay, so we'll unload
What are the
them.
big green ones?
The green, that is called the green one.
Yeah.
50s.
50s? No, I'm not going to do 120 today.
No,
Nah, man.
technique.
Yeah, more for technique. More for... Okay, right? Oh. Thank you. All I know is I've never lifted with these big green ones. Come on.
This is a 50 kilogram plate.
They don't make those anymore. Oh my gosh, that's a workout in itself.
Definitely.
I think we can put the 25s. That should be fine.
Do you normally put them this way or that way?
This way, so yeah.
Like so.
Yeah, there we go. Which Liam has informed us there's a technique and a reason why we load them this way. How are you? You're good.
Hi.
So the thinking behind it is that it's easier to take out because your fingers go inside.
Oh, okay.
I did not know this.
Neither do I. Never too old to learn, eh?
Now we know.
get that to stay.
Thank you.
Very good, doctor.
This is probably the square. Yeah. Whew. A little bit uneven.
Oh, big bang there. Make it look so easy.
We try. We do try. At double our body weight, we do try and make it easy.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we can just do a bit of bench.
Okay.
Just for the aesthetics.
So we load the other plates back again? You want to do that afterwards?
Yeah, are you guys deadlifting? What are we doing?
No, next to that.
Oh, okay, so we can offload things.
But let's do that once you've done your...
Okay, perfect. That is
Save
great.
your energy for the bench.
And then that's definitely not those plates.
Do you remember the weight of the bar?
Bar is 20.
20.
So bar is 20. In most gyms, your bar is 20. Your standard Olympic bar, that's 20. Obviously, in your more commercial gyms, you'll probably get like 7 kilogram bars, 10 kilo bars. So it does make things a bit tricky. The nice thing about Kevin's gym is that he always had Olympic competitive weights. So even if it was the 25s, the 50s, they were all competitive weights. So you wouldn't have any change of feel if you got to an event. So yeah. Obviously bench is the weakest, especially for females. We don't have any chest strength. So that was something that Kevin did train with me a lot more than everything else. So yeah, bench is sitting at a very sad 30 kilos, but we're getting there.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
where's Kevin? You'd say one more. Huh?
Kevin would definitely say one more. Kevin would be like, push, you've got one more. I'm like, Kevin, no. Kevin, we said 5. He'd always do that. He'd start off with a set and he'd be like, just 5 reps. You get to 5, you're ready to rack it. Kevin's like, one more. And then after one more, another one more. No, Kevin was such a motivator. He had such trust and faith in the people he trained. It was really incredible training experience.
Okay, so that's wrapped up for your workout.
That's it for me. I think I need to do as Kevin said. I need to rest.
Dr. Firdaus, it was great meeting you. thanks for coming around, taking the time.
Likewise, thank you, Sean, for giving me this opportunity to chat about Kevin. He will always be remembered, and it's something that's motivating me to do better in powerlifting. Obviously hoping that I can go for provincial colours next year, and that will 100% be for Kevin.
Okay, if he was here, I know he would have said that was a great workout.
He would.
So, great workout. Thank you.
Get some rest.
Till
Till
next time, think
muscles.
muscles. Okay, thanks a lot. Okay. Yay.
Maybe I can give up medicine now.